a Snyder fan has seen Star Wars, Dune, Lord of the Rings, or Game of Thrones, and they're able to look at Rebel Moon and say this is a work of some kind of visionary or something that they've never seen before, that's either a sign of one of two things: a superpower or mental illness. So Rebel Moon is the latest from Zack Snyder, the man famous for 300, Watchmen, Man of Steel, and of course Zack Snyder's Justice League, the 4-hour comic book epic, which I must say, after what we got with the Joss Whedon cut of Justice League, is a vast improvement. Like, I'm actually a pretty big fan of the Zack Snyder Justice League film. And although I'm a fan of that film, I find it pretty ludicrous to need 4 hours to tell a somewhat cohesive story, but that's neither here nor there. We're here for Rebel Moon, and Rebel Moon is what you would normally get from a Zack Snyder film. It's a lot of action, some substance, like surface level substance, and it's a lot of nonsense included in it too, but it kind of is what it is. Contrary to what Snyder fans online want you to believe, like, if you don't like this movie, or you know, just really wasn't feeling it, they're claiming that you don't understand. That's not the case. This film is very easy to follow along, especially if you've seen the likes of all the movies I mentioned before this video started. It's so derivative of those films and television series. Like, I mean, it is what it is. He saw a bunch of better works and kind of mashed them all up together. It's just there. What I will forever give Zack Snyder props on is his ability to do action and just create beautiful cinematography and set pieces. That is still here. The only issue is, with the good comes the bad of the constant slow-mo. Like, everybody has to understand this is way too much slow-mo, especially in an action film. Another thing Zack Snyder fans online will say is, well, it shouldn't be a complete story because there's a part 2 coming out in a couple months, and you have to go in understanding that this is all supposed to be one movie and it should be split into two and blah blah blah, this and that. Here's the best thing about films that are in multiple pieces or parts, and we have examples of that. Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2 separately, they can stand alone as their own films. So it's another example. Avengers, if Infinity War, as a standalone film, it stands on its own. Endgame, as a standalone film, stands on its own. It's just better when you have all of the material together and the complete picture. Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, does not stand on its own. Like, the whole film is just basically a montage showing how they get the rebellion troops together. That's all it is. And this, actually, all of this, if you wanted to put it, you know, in a more tight piece of work, you probably could have done all of that in a couple of scenes rather than do it as a whole film. Even with all that, I thought Rebel Moon was kind of okay. I don't know if I'll ever watch it again unless, you know, I'm just prepping to review part 2, but it's just, I'll go ahead and score it. The verdict on it is it's an unapologetically basic film, which is a 2 out of 5 for me. So if you've seen Rebel Moon Part 1, A Child of Fire, let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, follow. I appreciate your time. I truly do. This is Jarius, the Unapologetic Geek, and I am out.